Welcome back to Dead Air Radio. That was Apache Stone with Let It Live, and then we decided to give you a double treat and let you listen to Social Outlaw as well. And on the phone right now with us is lead singer of Apache Stone, Mike Lombardi. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
We're doing great.
Doing great.
Oh, thank you guys. Thanks for taking the time and having me on.
Oh, dude, thanks for making time for us. We really, really appreciate you calling in.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Well, man, I've been a huge fan of yours and the show Rescue Me ever since the show started. I've watched all 5 seasons. I've been a big fan of your character. But, with this new evolution of the band, everybody's been wondering, what came first for you? Was it being an actor or was it being a musician?
Well, I actually did. I moved to New York. Well, first I want to thank you for watching the show and the kind words. That's awesome, bro. And it was so cool for me to have the two passions cross like they have. I actually came to New York City. I was studying drums. I really wanted to be a pro drummer, and I was at a place called the Drummers Collective here in New York, and was definitely had done some acting and was auditioning and stuff. And I started to book some jobs as an actor, and that's what was paying my bills. And then I ended up on Rescue Me. Cut to like 10 years later, and here I am.
Well, hey, Mike, I was reading your bio, and I read that your uncle was your main source for your music inspiration, right?
Yes.
Well, what was your inspiration to get into acting?
Well, I actually, it was probably just from, like, admiring some of my favorite actors in some of my favorite movies, of course, like Robert De Niro and Marlon Brando, The Godfather. I mean, those, after seeing those guys, it was just something that I always loved, and I did some theater when I was younger. And, I started taking some classes, like I said, in New York in the summers, and just got really into it,
Yeah, that's great.
And Mike, you're living a lot of guys' dream. I mean, you got an awesome, just a kick-ass band.
Thanks so much.
And you're on, one of the hottest shows on TV.
Right.
And that's figuratively and literally.
Right.
Oh, that's a funny one.
Well, look, the way I look at it is, right, I got I'm a fake firefighter, I'm an actor, and a rock star. I got it all covered. Right?
You really do. Now, have you ever put out a real fire?
Your stovetop counts. Cooking counts.
Nothing too big.
Oh, all right. The ladies are listening, so you just say, of course.
Oh, man, right?
Chicks dig firefighters.
Well, what was cool was to train for the part on the show, actually. I went to Randall's Island, which is where they have the Proby school. My character was obviously the Proby at the beginning for a long time. Right. And, I don't know if real probies are probies for like 4 years, but my character sure was. And it was really cool. I went through all it's a training facility, so they took me through all the stuff to train for the part, and that was pretty sweet.
Now, do you have a new respect, obviously, for men and women in the fire department and what they deal with and what they go through? Has it brought a new sense of feeling to you about that profession?
Yeah, it sure has, guys. It's so tough. Even like in these fake fires that we do on set and stuff, they fill the place with smoke. And, Dennis Leary, obviously the star and co-creator and producer of the show, he really likes to keep it real, too, because, he holds the fire department so close to his heart. And, he really likes to kind of just, I guess, tell it how it is. And in these scenes, in a real fire, in most cases, you can only see like a foot in front of you, So he really tries to recreate that. It's not like, like Backdraft, which is a killer movie, but it's like man against flame, And it's like, in this, you go in there and it's just so chaotic, and you don't know. It's like a maze. You don't know what's up, down, where you're going, and even in these scenes, it gets really scary. And then the equipment, all the bunker gear, the stop packs, the tools. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I know a lot of times in this show you're talking about being very chaotic. You guys will be walking down a hallway, and then you open up a door, and there's just a wall of fire out of nowhere. That's amazing. You guys are able to capture that on the show.
It's really cool. The pyrotechnic guys are awesome, and you know what? Think about like going in there with all that gear and searching for people and having to take people out of that situation. On top of it all, I have a tremendous amount of respect for those guys.
Yeah. Well, this past season, your band Apache Stone was actually written into the show. You talked about how Dennis likes to keep everything really real.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Did Dennis and Peter come up to you and say, "Hey, Mike, what have you been up to?" You know, because you guys had that big long break in between the 2 seasons.
Yeah, exactly.
Or did you come up to him and be like, "Hey, man, check out my demo. This is my new band."
No, I didn't. He caught wind, that I was, that I had a band, and we've been together a couple years. Me and Hank Woods, the original, he's a guitar player in the band. We started the band a couple years ago, and but we just got it up like the past year. We've been gigging around a lot, and we finished our album and everything. And so I did like a lot of shows. I was doing shows throughout the summer on our hiatus, and Dennis Leary and Peter Tolan, the 2 co-creators of the show, they came and said, "Hey, we want to." They just wrote it in. My character has a band, and a lot of the things in the show happen in real life to the actors and stuff. Some of the stance that the actors' characters may take, he pulls things. Of course, they're like Hollywoodized, either with a dramatic or comedic element, but a lot of the storylines are true, and if not true from our guys, they're true from firefighters that Dennis has known.
Right. That's an amazing aspect of the show. You guys capture that realism so well as well.
Yeah, it's cool. It's so loose. They let us like improv and just kind of do our thing in scenes, and it's a well-oiled machine. We just have a lot of fun, And what's so cool, guys, is it's similar to being in a band. Me and the guys, the other main characters of the show, we're all so close, and we get into that firehouse kitchen and we do our thing, and we all know our parts, and we have fun, and we create together. And I mean, really, the two things really translate well to one another. They're really similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, Mike, have you ever been injured?
Let's see. On set. No, I haven't. I have not.
You're lucky.
You ever been close to being injured?
Yeah, I know. I'm really lucky. Close to being injured. I mean, a couple things have happened. Nothing, it gets scary when you're up on those, like, the ladders or when we're doing different stunts. And another thing that we do like to do to keep it real in a lot of cases is we really do our own stunts because they want it to be like one continuous take. Yeah, where you see, like, us fall through a floor. So the camera's on us talking, and there's no other way to do it. You can't switch us out for stuntmen and cut to something, so they'll do it where we really get to do the stunts, which is cool.
Yeah, very cool stuff, man.
Mike, I personally have only started just watching the show full time this past season because Brandon obviously got me hooked on the show, and I really love the show a lot. One of my questions is, obviously the show's about New York firefighters, and obviously the thing that always gets brought up as a recurrent theme is 9/11, and I know that the show sometimes always pulls from ideas and happenings from the guy's personal life. Is 9/11 like something that comes up on set quite often, or is it something that I guess causes motivation for anybody's characters and stuff like that on the set or in the writing?
Yeah. I mean, it really doesn't specifically touch upon that. I mean, obviously, I think we all as Americans talk about it, right? So you can't. I mean, and living in New York, I mean, it's like, and obviously playing a fireman. I mean, it's that much more relevant, but. You want to know something? Daniel Sinjata, who plays Franco on the show, his character, and I only say this because he's actually gone public and spoken about this, his character and Daniel in real life believed that 9/11 was a conspiracy theory, like an inside job.
Wow.
So he truly believes that. And Dennis, again, and Peter caught wind of that, and they wrote it in that his character, Franco Rivera, is saying, spreading this word that 9/11 was an inside job, and my character fights him on that because my character became a firefighter because of 9/11.
Yeah.
So it's really